What's up, movie lovers, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, and well, guess what? It's time for another Quickie, and this time we're going back into the movie halls and pulling up what gems I have next, and it's quite a pile to pull from. Still got a shit ton to go through. So let's get into it, but first I want to say I am just back from a little excursion, a cinematic excursion. Went to Buffalo just tonight, and just got home from the Dipson Amherst Theater, where they actually showed William Lustig's 1980 Maniac, the total classic slasher film. And it's part of this thing they have going on. I checked it out for the first time. It's Thursday Night Terrors. It's kind of this group of local people that put it together. And they're showing, they showed Maniac, and then next Thursday, Stage Fright. Then after that's Night of the Demons. Then, what does that say? Doom Asylum. Never seen that one. I think that's a newer movie anyways. And then a nice little Christmas gem, Silent Night, Deadly Night. But definitely a fun time. Had a blast. Really great seeing Maniac up on the big screen. And just hearing the crowd's reaction, especially when the head explosion part happens with the shotgun. Maybe I'll throw a little bit of that clip on here right now. But yeah, it was a really great time. But back and just wanted to get a quick movie haul in before I go to bed because I am pooped. But let's start it off with a great classic anthology horror flick. It is John Carpenter presents Body Bags, a movie by Tobe Hooper. It's pretty much a three different stories, anthology film. Great cast. I think I did this in a Quickie a year or two ago. Just talked about it briefly, but it's a really fun film. Mark Hamill is in this one. We got, who else is in this bad boy? We have Stacy Keach, Mark Hamill, like I said. Even Deborah Harry from Blondie's in there. But really cool movie. The stories are interesting and varying on different levels. Some are kind of corny and silly. Other ones are pretty damn intense. I know the Mark Hamill segment is really badass. But, yep, just great to have this one in the collection. Never owned it prior. So it's nice to have it in there. And this is a Scream Factory release. And, yeah. Amazing film, amazing anthology film. Not one of my favorites, but really badass. And John Carpenter actually plays the kind of crypt keeper kind of style host who kind of introduces each segment. He's like in a mortuary doing a whole bunch of silly gags, but really fun film. Let's keep moving on to an interesting slasher kind of film, kind of like a psycho killer kind of movie. Watched it actually for the first time recently. I tried to watch it with a group of friends down at the cottage, fell asleep. It was probably like the third or fourth movie we had in the night, but really cool stuff. It is Don't Answer the Phone, and actually doing a review on this one very soon. It's already written and filmed, so I just have to edit it together and get it all out there for you guys. But pretty much just follows a crazy person, a Vietnam vet named Kirk Smith, played by Nicholas Worth. He does an awesome job in this one. He's just a total psychotic. And just a really interesting movie. He's just pretty much stalking women and killing them and calling a radio station and kind of egging on the host, and pretty much that's the gist of it. But a really cool, fun film. Vinegar Syndrome put this one out, and never owned this one prior. I'm glad I picked it up and added it into my kind of slasher psycho films. But yep, Don't Answer the Phone, really awesome film. and stay tuned for that review. Let's go to something a little more classy. A Vincent Price film, and this one is actually one of my favorites of his. It is House of Wax. Really old style film, made for 3D films, but I don't know if this one's in 3D or not. I think it does have a 3D option. But really cool, classy story about a dude who's obsessed with his wax creations and kind of gets screwed over by a friend, and then pretty much just goes apeshit crazy and starts killing people and putting them in his wax museum. Really cool film. I believe, what's his face is in this. Charles Bronson plays a small role as his... I believe he's in there. Yeah, Charles Bronson's in there somewhere as his, like, Igor kind of servant man. But really cool film, very classy. One of my favorites of Vincent Price. I think he does a damn good job on this one. And this is in Warner Brothers Archive Collection. I picked this up for pretty cheap too. But I do own this one on DVD, and this is pretty much an upgrade because it deserves an upgrade. But amazing film. Yeah, I think I actually have a review of this one on the channel somewhere, so seek that one out if you want to hear more. But let's move on to something totally different. This is one hell of a fun animated cartoon that I kind of grew up with. It's got a lot of cool parts to it. It's corny and it's terrifying. It's got a whole bunch of cool combinations to it. The movie I'm talking about is The Secret of Nim, and this cover is just horrendous. It does not do the movie justice, but it's just a really badass film. It is not a Disney movie, but definitely has that Disney style. Directed by Don Bluth, but yeah, pretty much this lady right here has to save her family and move their little brick house before a bulldozer or a tractor comes through and tears crap up. So she pretty much goes on a little adventure to go talk to the rats of Nim who live under a bush, and there's just some freaky looking stuff in this movie. The art style is really cool. You can't really tell from the cover, but the back kind of gives you some kind of idea of the weirdness on display. But really awesome film, and do own it on DVD and just decided to upgrade it because it was going for dirt cheap, so why not? But yep, that is a childhood favorite of mine. Let's move it on to a sci-fi kind of action film that was spawned from a well, it's the two sequels, part 2 and 3, but it is a David Cronenberg film is what it's based off of. Scanners 2 and Scanners 3. I remember a little bit about Scanners 2. Number 3, I cannot tell you. I think I've seen it before. Can't tell you a damn thing about it. But not as good as the original, of course. Not as good as David Cronenberg's original film. But there are pretty interesting follow-ups with a decent cast. Low budget, of course, but really cool stuff. And just figured I would pick it up because I do not own any of these ones on DVDs. So now I have them on Blu-ray and DVD because it's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack put out by Scream Factory. But I mean, the gist of it is in this cinematic world, people can explode people's heads off with their mind. They're called scanners, and it's pretty much the gist of all the films are pretty much the government's trying to get a hold of these kind of people that have this ability and use them for their own, usually nefarious ways. But really cool kind of action sci-fi film. Really thinks outside the box and just really neat. Let's move on. Maybe I have room for 2 more. Next up is a 80s boner comedy, I guess. Hard Bodies. I have not seen this one. I just saw the trailer and said, you know what? This is going to be entertaining. And with a cover like that, how can you refuse? But this is part of the Mill Creek retro VHS kind of looking editions that came out. So you can get them for really cheap, $7 I think. And I've been collecting them all. But yeah, I don't really know much about this one other than it's an 80s sex comedy kind of thing, and that's all I really need to know. Looks fun, looks entertaining, and ridiculous. Totally 80s. But yeah, hard bodies. That's it. I got nothing else. But next up, let's finish it off with a bang here with a very interesting film. I don't even know what you would even label this one as. But the movie I'm talking about is Repo Man with Emilio Estevez. It's pretty much just the weird antics of a group of people that go around repossessing cars, and it just goes really off the rails into places you would not expect. This is the Criterion Collection edition. It's I don't know, I think I own it on DVD, so this is an upgrade to Blu-ray. But it's a pretty, I mean, just like every Criterion collection, they really go all out, especially with the artwork and just design, and really glad to have this one in the collection. I think someone was actually selling this online really cheap, so I was kind of glad I picked it up real quick before it disappeared. But yep, that is the Repo Man. But before this gets any longer, let's cut this one short, because this is, damn it, this is supposed to be a quickie. But yep, that is it. That is the whole smorgasbord. But good bunch of pickups here, and we're slowly whittling down the giant pile of recent pickups, and I think there's a few more coming in the mail, so my work is never done. But guys, that is it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you like that quickie. If you do, like and subscribe. If you got time, comment below. Love hearing from you guys, and yeah, I guess I will see you next time I'm in front of a camera talking about movies. So take care, stay out of trouble, and I will see you crazy cats later. See ya!